Past year, there were racy photos, including one of the teenager supposedly smoking a bong. A Florida teen says he's the one who dumped a grand piano on a Miami sandbar. Details from ABC's Karen Chase.
The mystery surrounding the newest Florida Keys has been solved. Aspiring artist Nicholas Harrington says he put the piano on the Biscayne Bay sandbar.
I've been trying to build up my art portfolio.
But after he used it as the centerpiece for his photo shoot,
it looked great. We took some great photos of it.
His friends set it on fire at a New Year's Eve party that got out of control.
We had over 100 people here.
So he loaded it onto his dad's boat and dumped it on the sandbar, unwittingly transforming it into the centerpiece of a musical mystery. Karen Chase, ABC News.
I'm Brad Wheelis, ABC News.
As you've been hearing in the 5 Live News, there are reports of widespread disruption to the internet in Egypt tonight, hours before a big day of protests are expected. Messaging services on mobile phones and some social media sites are reportedly also disrupted. This week's mass protests have been organised with the aid of sites like Facebook and Twitter. Well, Parvez Sharma is a New York-based filmmaker. And Parvez, I know you've been in touch with protesters in Cairo and aiding their communication. Can you confirm tonight that the authorities have managed somehow to disrupt the access to the internet?
Yes, indeed. They have managed to completely shut off the internet. There is no more internet access in Egypt as of an hour ago. I think they were doing practice runs all day long, alternatively shutting down Facebook and Twitter and people's Gmail accounts, for example. And now they finally got success and have been able to shut down the internet.
And what are people in Cairo who are associated with the demonstrations, what are they telling you about their ability to organise the protests that are expected later on today?
I'm sorry, I lost you there for a minute. I missed the question.
No, we can have police sirens in the background there. I was asking, what are people in Cairo telling you about what they're doing instead to communicate with each other with regards to the protest later today?
It's been for the last 48 hours, I was able to have long online conversations with people, which I have been blogging about, all my friends in Cairo. But after that, it has been tremendously difficult. BlackBerry service, for example, went down this afternoon. Soon after that, people were unable to send SMS and text messages. And now there is fear and there's a lot of rumors in Cairo floating around that the electricity and the water are going to be shut down tomorrow. A lot of my friends are getting ready for what might be the most challenging day of the protest tomorrow, right after Friday prayers in downtown Cairo, for example, at some of the prominent mosques. People are going to gather there. They are going to move there in very large numbers. But they're afraid that given Mubarak's ability now to shut off the internet and probably the pending electricity and water shutdown, that the numbers of people that show up might be affected. They're obviously not being able to communicate as effectively as they were earlier on Twitter and Facebook. And it's going to be very difficult because, some of the organizing that has happened in the last 48 hours was quite spectacular in that, they were able to gather information about which intersections were blocked, where people should move, where they should congregate. And protests like this, they start off online, but you also have to realize that the entire Egyptian population is not internet savvy. So it builds up from the internet and it moves and becomes something much larger. And some of the most interesting stuff I just got off the phone with a friend in Cairo, is that, they've been collecting vinegar all day because that apparently is very effective for tear gas. They've been collecting goggles, headscarves, obviously, which are readily available, so that they can cover their faces. Apparently, there are plainclothes policemen who are now filming people who are mingling within the crowds and, trying to sort of take pictures of people, so they want to cover their faces. They're getting gloves. They're really preparing for what might be some terrible violence tomorrow. And she also told me that when she was at Tahrir Square, which has been quite the center of these protests just a few hours ago, she saw police vans where they were loading clubs and nails and all kinds of stuff. And some plainclothes police officers apparently basically were pouring gasoline on cars that are parked in downtown Cairo, in the Tahrir Square area and the Ramses Square area, and they assume that the police are going to set these cars on fire and say that the protesters are rioting on the streets.
As far as you can gather, is the shutdown, the crackdown on the internet and other services, is that concentrated in Cairo or is that nationwide?
It's probably concentrated in Cairo. You also have to understand that,
Gosh, we've lost you. There you go. I'm sure that wasn't the same crackdown we were talking about. Parvez Sharma there in New York.
BBC Radio 5 Live.
To listen again to the best bits, plus a full roundup of what's on, click bbc.co.uk/5live.